Flashback to 2033. We see deadheads eating a dead corpse as we see someone kills it. We see it's Rob's sword, but it doesn't have the skull on the handle yet. He's walking towards a cabin as we see he puts his sword on the porch, confirming he lives here. He then goes inside for the night as we see the sun setting. We see him sitting at a table, all alone. We see him cleaning his sword. We see him reading, and then we see him going to bed. The next day, we see him waking up. He puts his boots on, grabs his sword, and goes out for the day again. We see the dead corpse from yesterday is now just bones and a bit of blood in the grass. We then hear a noise of someone walking. Rob backs up against the tree as he hears someone coming, and Rob comes out as we see it's a dad and his little girl, and the dad says, Hey, we're not infected. They look very freaked out, and Rob puts his weapon down and says, You should take your daughter and leave. It ain't safe around here. He starts walking away, and the guy says, Please, sir, please, we need your help. My wife is dying. She was bit, and we lost all of our food. Please, sir. Rob sees the little girl and feels bad and says, All right, show me. I'll help you put her down. Then I'll be gone. The man says, Thank you. As we then see them pair up. Later on, we see them walking into an old building that's half destroyed. As we see the guy runs to his wife and says, Hey, baby, are you still with me? She looks out of it and says, Can you hear those angels, Jack? Jack says, Yeah, I hear them, baby. They're beautiful. She starts to slip away as we hear her say, I love you, Jack. Please, do what's best. Do what's best for my Jade. Confirming the young girl is a younger Jade. The mother then dies in Jack's arms as he breaks down and pulls out his knife, but he then tries a few times, but he can't bring himself to do it. We see him say, Jade, don't look, baby. Don't look. Rob is standing there and says, I'll do it. Jack gives Rob the knife, and Rob stands over her and puts the blade inside of her head before she turns. We then see Rob, Jack, and Jade sitting there. As they all look broken, Rob says, I'm sorry this happened to you. You mind telling me how she died? Jack says, We were checking out a pantry when we got attacked. My wife tried saving Jade from the dead, but they got her instead. I even cut myself on metal fighting one of those things off. I barely made it out myself. They then see the dead coming from far as we see a crowd of them running towards them. Rob sees this and says, We gotta go now. Jade says, No, we can't leave Mom. Jack says, It's okay, baby. It's gonna be okay. As they run away, we then see they've been running for a while in the woods. As they stop and Rob says, They're not far. We have to find a place to hide out. And Jack says, I can't run anymore. I can't run. And Rob says, What the hell? What's going on with you? Jack says, Nothing. I need to stop for a minute. As we see a bite showing through his shirt, and Rob says, Oh my God. Jack, you weren't cut. You were bit. Jack then looks at it, devastated. And Jade says, No, he's gonna be okay, right? Please, that's my daddy. Jack says, Jade, I need you to listen to me, okay? You're gonna be fine. But you have to leave. You have to leave me behind. I'm a danger to you, just like Mom was. You have to go. Jack then looks at Rob and says, Look, I know we just met. I know I just met you, and I know that you didn't sign up for any of this. But I'm begging you, please, sir, keep my daughter safe. Rob looks forward and sees the dead are coming from a distance, as we then see he doesn't really know how to react to this. And Rob says, I can keep her safe. I will keep her safe. Jack kisses his daughter and says, Go with him, baby. Jade is crying and says, No, Daddy, please. Rob has to pull her off of her father as he pulls her away, and Jack says, I love you. I love you so much. Please, don't forget that, baby. As Rob takes Jade and runs away with her, as Jack just stands there waiting for the dead to get him too, as he puts his hands out and smiles and says, I'm coming home, baby. As the dead take him down and rip him apart. We then see Rob has been running for hours. As the time goes by, he and Jade make it to his cabin. As he sees she's still crying, and Rob looks broken and says, I'm so sorry, kid. I couldn't even imagine. Look, I know this is not where you want to be. You're never going to want to be here, and that's okay, kid. Hell, you don't need to talk if you don't want to. I understand. But if there's one thing I can promise you, kid, I am not going to let anything happen to you, even if it's the last thing I do. As she hugs him, as she still is crying, and Rob starts breaking down in sadness. Currently, we see bloody hands as we see Rob says, My mind has been lost for years. Until I found her. I finally felt like I had a purpose to make sure that that child survived. The woman says, I'm sorry. You did the right thing taking her in like that. You mind telling me how you lost her?